I would talk a little bit about R-Type Final 2, which it's coming to the end of its very short Kickstarter campaign. And so I'm playing some R-Type Dimensions. And here is the reformatted version of R-Type 1 that I'm playing. The graphics are very cool. It's sort of they added this extra visual entertainment on top of the classic pixel view of it, and you can sort of lift back and forth at your will. Even though this game is quite old, it's still a lot of fun to play, and there have been many sequels and actually a few prequels to R-Type in the past. But all through the series, it's very high quality. They've always been among the best shmups, or shoot-em-ups, a style of video game popular throughout the world. Oops, died there. But still most popular in Japan, but still very popular in other parts of the world as well. R-Type Final came out, was it in 2003? But it was a very, you might say it was the best game of its type ever released for any system or in the arcade. Now there's a lot of very good shmups out there, so that's kind of a bold statement, but why I would make that is that the game itself was very high quality, but also the replay value was just astounding in terms of you had over 100 ships that you could sort of collect and unlock in order, and sort of gave you a reason to come back and replay the game, because you could unlock the new ships, you could discover new stages and other hidden things. So I remember it as being a really amazing and sometimes quite difficult experience. Yes, these games are very difficult, and I'm not particularly that great at playing them. You're not going to see me winning an award for speedrunning games anytime soon, but I'm a thoughtful commentator. I talk about things, but one of the reasons why R-Type is the most interesting, and you know, there are a lot of other very strong contenders, but there's so many different things that you can do in this series. You notice here I am flying my ship, but then I also have this satellite called the Force, or A Force, not the Force, because that's Star Wars, but A Force is this object. I can attach it to the front of my ship, I can attach it to the back of the ship, and then fire backward. And the other thing about this is they throw constant levels of lasers are always coming at me, enemies from all sides, and yes, I'm being totally destroyed here while talking to you, but enemies are always coming at you from every side, but you can use the Force, you can use your Force to block the enemy shots, or even to destroy their ships. You can send it off and let it fly in various areas. The level design is really interesting. Like this R-Type 1, was that 89 or was that 92? I forget. But still this very advanced sort of level and boss design here. Here's a boss that he goes to pieces, you see. Goes into 3 different segments. And there's a few different ways that I could solve this puzzle. It is almost like a puzzle game in battle form, just because there's so much going on and different ways to handle it. See, I use the cheat code there. The green things are the power cores on this thing, so have to figure out a way how to blast them, but I've got to wait until it separates. And then, see, I got one part of them. I used my bit satellite there. What else can be said? The genetic laser, it looks like a strand of DNA or something. Alright, almost won this battle. What's crazy is in the original, notice it's absorbing the shots there. That is a strategy if you want to get anywhere in the world of R-Type. You'll have to master the strategy of using the Force to block the incoming enemy lasers, ships, and everything else. So here's a biological level with monstrous centipedes or something. So also, R-Type series was one of the first games to let you charge up your laser. And I think it showed up a little bit later in Mega Man and some other games. But that's part of the strategy, is instead of firing constantly, you're always strategically thinking. I charge up my wave cannon, or whatever you call it, and then let it loose at just the right time to eliminate maybe a larger enemy with one shot, where they normally would have taken several shots. I'm going to use the cheat code again. These look like floor brushes shooting lasers, don't they? But there's a lot of strange stuff going on in this game. And this isn't R-Type Final, but in R-Type Final, you did have the opportunity of, you can choose one of over 100 different ships, and it's really interesting, all the different variety that they threw in there, and who knows how much interesting variety they might pack in to R-Type 2, which is being kickstarted. It's by the original team, but it's over 10, I guess it is, some amount of years after. So technology has drastically improved in terms of graphics, and also cross-platform. They're going to release it on even Nintendo Switch, PlayStation. I think they announced they're going to do it on Xbox as well, and PC on Steam. So you'll be able to play it. I think I will go for the PlayStation 4 version, which I'm enjoying at the moment in terms of, wow, this level is really, really difficult. I can't imagine someone getting through it on just one life. It's, see, the motors, you can only blast them from the pink side, not the other side. So it's a big challenge. Most of the music in R-Type is not happy-go-lucky like this, so it's sort of a funny inclusion here. Anyway. No, I don't do a lot of gaming videos, but this is a quality game series. Also been quite interested by Bloodstained. Which is a non-connected game that is kind of similar to Castlevania. It is a so-called Metroidvania game by designed by the original designer from Symphony of the Night. And even Samurai Showdown is about to... Samurai Showdown, it wasn't kickstarted or anything, it's available for pre-order, so... These are some of my favorite old game series that the gaming world is realizing that retro games, there's a lot to them. There's a lot of interesting stuff, and you shouldn't just play retro games all the time, because if you did that, you would be missing out on a lot of cool three-dimensional stuff. But at the same time, there's a value to it. And I don't know, I just appreciate the artistry of these games. Getting near the end of the game. And this is going to be a complicated one, and they'll probably completely wipe me out while I try to talk to them. But that is okay, as long as you just remember how great the R-Type series was. Or who knows, maybe some new people who have never played one of the many games in the series and its related side spin-offs will be drawn into it. It's like a lot of people talk about the so-called bullet hell shmups of Danmaku or whatever. And those are really interesting. And this is not that. It's strategic in its own way. And this and the Gradius series, another really great series, which it really should be continued. And they should make another game like Gradius V, which is another choice for the best strategic shmup. You might call them that. Here they're taking out the trash, junkyard or something. Notice I'm using... Here, I'll use the cheat code again. Even with the cheat code, the game is still fairly difficult. Just to save your pride a bit and maybe I will go back and watch one of these one continue complete or clear videos, just to remind myself that it is actually humanly possible to get through all of this complexity without being blown away. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to VJ Franz K. I usually am discussing music and creative technologies. Art programs I'll also do. Think about kickstarting R-Type Final 2. And once the Kickstarter has closed, who knows? If I were them, I would extend it a little bit longer. But after it's closed, you'll still think about what to look forward to in terms of that game. Maybe pre-order it when you get a chance to do that.